and Danny gave us confidence that he could deliver that quality on the pitch. The second thing is man management. I think Danny will bring the best version out of every one of our players. And the third thing that I think is incredibly important is that I believe that Danny understands the essence of this club. I know he hasn't been here before, but he understands that winning is the only option. Anything other than a win is a loss. He understands that it has to happen right away. And I think that he has the ability to create a bond with our supporters, which we believe is so important. He is confident, he is technical, and he has a little bit of edge to himself, and I think that'll serve him well in the role.
You have been open in saying that some things over the last few months haven't maybe gone as planned. How determined are you to put that right and ensure stability here moving forward?
When we came here, we said we wanted to do two things: sustain winning and winning sustainably. It has not gone as we envisioned. We knew it wouldn't be easy, but we are incredibly committed to getting back to what everybody wants, which is winning football matches. And so where we get things wrong, the key is to recognize that, own it, and improve. And as I said, we're incredibly committed to that.
Just following on from your open letter, is there anything further you would like to add regarding the appointment of Russell Martin?
It didn't work out with Russell. I think Russell's a good person. He worked tirelessly in the role. He desperately wanted to win, and I wish him nothing but the best, but at the end it didn't work out. We recognize that, and that's a big part of the reason that we have changed, and it's why Danny is now our head coach.
What have been some of the biggest lessons learned in these last few months?
I think that until you are in this club, you don't understand how enormous it is. We did research, we talked to people, but until you cross that threshold, the magnitude of it isn't real. And so that's the first thing. And then the second thing that I've realized is that we talk about our supporters all the time as sort of one thing, and they're not one thing. We have millions of supporters around the world, and I have, at the suggestion of one of the supporters who lives in Philadelphia, tried to get to know people on an individual basis. And it's been spectacular. That it's something I want to continue to do because it's not one thing. It's millions of different people, and it's been enjoyable getting to know some of these people.
In terms of this recent process in the last few weeks, how closely have you been working with Patrick and Kevin during that as well?
The four of us, the fourth being Parag, have worked incredibly closely. The number of text messages and phone calls would probably astound people that it's been a very intensive search. And so the four of us have worked almost hand in hand all day, every day over the last 2 weeks to get to the conclusion of the process that has led us to Danny.
Just lastly, it obviously has been a difficult period for the club in these last few months, but what would your message be to the supporters today?
The passion of the supporters is one of the things that attracted us to this club. We recognize that they have been frustrated. We know that results haven't been good enough. And the thing that I would say to them is that we will work tirelessly to get to where we all want to be, which is winning football matches.
So there you have it, Ricky. What do you think of that?
Aye, it was a good interview, definitely. He emphasised the importance of basically recognising mistakes. He said that he get things wrong when he's recognised it, and he's owned his mistakes, his words, and he's going to improve. And I think that's what the fans need to hear. We've got a new manager, Danny's on board, and we just need to give everybody a chance. I'm still not too keen on the new management, but it is what it is. We need to wait and see what happens now.
I think it's a breath of fresh air though for me, for somebody of that kind of level in a club to actually come out and talk about what's happening. And it was the same, was it 2 years ago, last year, when they started Ref Watch? Mm-hmm. Do you remember that?
Aye.
And obviously they came out and talk about decisions that happened at the weekend and maybe if they got it wrong or whatever, and give an insight to the thinking behind it, because it's like for years referees would not talk to the media, talk to the clubs, answer to anybody. So I think it's good that you've got to answer to people now and you're getting watched properly, if you will, and judged every week, and you can get demoted now, and I think that's a big thing for referees. And it also keeps it fairer, because if you think back to the old referees in a sash and all that phrase, Ricky,
Referees amazing.
Not so much now, it's the other way now they're shouting into it. It's always the team losing that blames them. But yeah, that was a good insight. we'll get another couple of interviews if Ricky can find them in time. Hoping to get the Brendan Rodgers one to play as well. I thought that was a cracker, mate. We were just talking about that off air. Honda Civics and Ferraris.
Aye, well, if you play that that clip about the Honda Civic, then we can play his response that he said today about it. He stands by what he said.
I get where he's coming from, but I just think it's an odd thing to say, publicly for me.
If you've got the clip there, play it so the listeners can hear.
I always look at this with such thick green tinted glasses.
Yeah, listen, it's not all linear and all smooth right the way through the season, that's for sure. But yeah, I think the challenge from the summer now leading into here, where we, as I said, we lost a lot of firepower, a lot of goals out in the team, and there's no way you'll go into a race and be given the keys to a Honda Civic, and as you take off, say, I want you to drive it like a Ferrari. It's not going to happen. So until something changes, I have to find the solutions, because, like I said, goals, speed, everything has come out of the team, and we need.
The fuck you talk?
Oh, what the hell happened there? These clips you send me are dodgy, mate. But aye, we get the picture. Honda Civics can't be driven like Ferraris. So I get the analogy, but to be publicly saying that, I thought was a bit mental. But as I was telling you off air, when you get back to the Gordon Strachan era, he kind of done the same. He was saying it's water pistols v machine guns. So for me, it's sly digs at the board without saying anything, that he's only backing me, you're not getting me who I want, and then expecting, Champions League football with championship players.
Listening to like phone-ins and just looking at different like social media posts and things like that, the tide is starting to turn a little bit on Rodgers. The fans are kind of starting to like move away from the board and kind of move on to him a little bit, I find.
It's because the fit was so rotten, and he's no changing it. But I don't know if it's meant. Do you know? It's as if he's wanting sacked rather than keeping it out this year. I think there's been a huge fallout behind the scenes. I had heard rumours about a fight in the dressing room after the Dundee game. No idea if it's true or no, but you never know what's happening behind the scenes, do you?
Yeah, I know. And if what we think is going to happen on Sunday, where Hearts is going to beat Celtic, the pressure will be on them even more.
Well, that's it. I mean, they're still sitting second. They're not that far behind. It's a huge win for them if they beat Hearts. But on the flip side, if Hearts do destroy them, I think he's out the door. Or the fans will want him out the door, certainly. But the board are that stubborn. They'll no talk. They'll no do anything. It's been a weird one. It's been a really weird season for Rangers and Celtic, I think.
I think you're getting excited because it's the third time you've said tonight, or probably the fourth time you said Hearts is going to destroy Celtic. I don't think that'll be the case. I think it'll be a tight game. But
I really do. Well, it's at Tynecastle, mate. It's one of the hardest places to go. I don't know if you've ever been, but the fans are right on top of you. It's very loud. They're obviously buzzing just now. They're on form. As I say, they ripped Kilmarnock apart. I can't see any way that we beat them Sunday. We've not got goals. We're not defending. Our midfield is lacklustre. Rodgers isn't changing things. How do we then go and beat the top team in Scotland now?
Yep. It'll be an interesting game. One I'll be looking forward to. I'll definitely be watching it.
You will be, won't you?
I was thinking about the Hearts fans.
You'll not even be watching the Rangers game. You'll just be watching the Celtic game.
Getting ready for the phone-in. Alexa, play Scoreboard Spotlight.
So let's get on to the fixtures for the Scottish Gas Scottish Cup Round 2. It is Auchinleck Talbot versus Gretna 2008, Banks O'Dea versus Frasenborough, Bo'ness Athletic versus Linlithgow Rose, Brecon City versus Dundonald Albion, the big one, Camelon versus Johnstone Borough. How do you see that going, Ricky? That's going to be a tough game, I think.
It's going to be tough. I imagine anybody who's a Borough fan will know what happened in the last game. They only played them 2 weeks ago. If my memory says it, 2 weeks ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, because it's all been cup games the last 3 weeks, isn't it?
And what was the final score? Do you remember?
It was 4-3.
4-3, aye. But Borough came from behind.
think they were 3-1 down.
Aye, came from
half-time.
behind, and yep. So that'll be in both teams' mind. Cameron will obviously be wanting to prove a point, and it is the Scottish Cup round 2.
Yeah.
So there's a potential championship side waiting for them in the next round.
Well, that's it.
Everybody will want to win and go through, and it's going to be such a hard game. It's going to be in their home ground, and I just hope Borough's up for it.
So say they go through, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want the championship team, or do you want them to get an easier team where they've got a chance to get through to get a Premier team?
Let's be honest. I'm not going to win the Scottish Cup. You know what I mean? It's a dream everybody has when they're boys, but you want to get as far as you can in the competition. So you want an easy round, and then in round 4 you want one of the big boys.
Well, for me that's a definite, because when you think back to Darvel beating Aberdeen, that's the kind of scene you want into. You want a big team coming to your own ground, got home advantage, the whole of Johnston's up watching it. Even if they get hammered, it's all about getting the gates into it, getting the big team. You're on the telly, it's a spectacle.
If that was like Arthur Stanley beating, say, Man City, that would be a movie. That'd be a movie now.
I hope they don't get us, because they beat us, innit? But yeah, we'll move on to the rest of the fixtures. It's Clachnacudden versus Sauchie, Clyde versus Annan Athletic, Clydebank versus East Stirlingshire, a very winnable game for them.
Aye, I can see Clydebank going through to the next round. They get Hibs last year, remember?
Aye, they done well.
They done really well, Clydebank.
I think it was at 3-0 they get beat eventually, but
yeah,
put up a good show of themselves. Cumbernauld Colts versus Bonnyrigg Rose, Dumbarton versus Tayport. It's a huge game for Dumbarton. Edinburgh City versus University of Stirling, Elgin City versus Devonvale, Formartine United versus Buckie Thistle, Musselburgh Athletic versus Forfar Athletic, Nairn County versus Turriff, Stranraer versus Glenafton Athletic, the Spartans versus East Kilbride. That's a big one.
That will be.
Trinent versus Dundee North End, and Wick Academy versus Benburb. I feel for them. That is, what is it, 5.5 hours drive?
Oof, yeah. Sir Alex paying for the trip.
Aye, that was good of him. Yeah, Sir Alex Ferguson's agreed to pay the trip, everything for it.
Accommodation, yeah.
It is a long journey up to Wick, mind you.
Something like that would have hammered their finances.
Oh, 100%.
It's pretty good that someone steps up who's got the money, loves the game, and they just commit to something like this. It's pretty good. And
the thing is, I think it'd be a struggle if they didn't have somebody helping them, because it is a long way. It's a full squad, a team. It's major expenses, isn't it?
Aye. Then the next round will probably get somebody for the Highlands again if they get through.
I know. Do you know something as well? I remember saying to you when this draw happened, I think they're at it with this draw, because there's a lot of Highland teams versus Highland teams, and no much travelling, and then there you go, Benburb and Wick.
You do like a wee conspiracy theory, right?
Love it, mate, love it. Still about the refs, I'm right, I'm telling you. So let's get on to the Premier Division of the juniors.
Can I just mention that we are doing a live show on Saturday? There's only 2 of us going. It's myself and Andy Steele going to the game, and we'll just
for the Borough game.
Aye, just outside Falkirk, I think they are.
Yeah,
and we'll just be doing live updates. So it'll be a mix of music and we can't commentate. It's a Scottish Gas Cup game. You need proper rights for that, but it's just we can do like up to date. As long as it's not live. So we'll report from the stadium. We'll give you links to where you can listen to it and things on Saturday on socials. But I'm looking forward to it.
Surely buying the rights is pocket change for you, mate.
Having to work 100 hours to just do one game.
But no, that would be good. It's been a long time since we've done a live. We're desperate to do a few this year, aren't we? Callum will be at Clydebank, so we'll give him a wee phone during the show as well and see how Clydebank's getting on. So just because he's there and because we can. Just because we can. Right, so getting on to the Premier Division of the juniors, there was one result on Saturday, and it was Kilwinning Rangers 5, St Cadoc's 0. That's Kilwinning are starting to climb that table now, aren't they? They had a really, really poor start. We were starting to worry about them, but they're sitting 7th now on 10 points.
I can't wait until we start getting back into the Premier Division. It's like it seems to be cups, especially for the Borough.
It's been constant, isn't it? I think it's like the last 6 out of 8 games or something has been cup games.
There is 6 games being played this weekend in the Premier Division, but again, Borough isn't playing, so that they're starting to kind of fall behind now. You've got Troon on 9 games, where Johnstone Borough's the only one who's played 6. So Johnstone Borough has the least amount of games played out of everybody, and then again there's going to be another set of games with nearly all the teams involved, so they're going to fall behind even more. Winter's coming, they try to ram the games in on midweeks and stuff like that.
And the fact that they're not in the top 8 now, it's a bit worrying, because it's alright saying you've got the games in hand, but then you've got to go and win them, and you might be playing 3 games a week, so it's not as easy just saying they're winnable games. You've got a lot of injuries to worry about, people maybe not be able to make it. You've got a lot of things going on then with 3 games a week. And I always remember, back to the late 90s, early 2000s, you had like backlogged games so much with the juniors. It was like 10 games to play in 4 weeks and stuff, and they were still getting called off for rain, and sometimes you didn't get to play them. There was a cut-off date and that was it. You just lost the points.
At Borough last year, I remember there was they played a game, and I think it was the 4th time it had been rearranged.
Aye, that's
something
right.
like that. We actually have quite a lot of new listeners tonight by the looks of it, looking at statistics. And for those who don't know, it's all changed next season. There's going to be a new Lowland League called
Say that again.
There's going to be a new Lowland League West and a Lowland League East, and up to 8 teams can go through. It just depends how it works out, but between a max, there'll definitely be 6 teams from the West of Scotland Premier going through, but it could be up to 8. It just depends how all the other kind of games sort itself out. But
and the way it's kind of thing we do it, that means 8 teams, 6 to 8 teams from each league will jump up, so you probably have like 6 to 8 teams from the amateurs coming up into the juniors
so
as well.
It's possible that most of those teams in the top 8 just now, which includes Borough, even though they're 9th, but it includes Borough because obviously there's a lot of games to play, could be playing Lowland League football. That's only 1 tier away from entering the professional leagues, 2nd division.
And I think that's how it's such a big season for Clydebank as well in Linlithgow, because they've got a chance. I mean, look at Spartans. Spartans have done so well over the years. You've got a few teams that have came through the juniors that are up into the pro leagues now, so it opens doors. I like the pyramid scheme for that, because you think years ago you had the 4 divisions, you might be the same team finishing last of the last divisions all the time, so you're going to have junior teams out there that are better than them, so what's the point in having them in the pro leagues?
Exactly.
The only thing is it's obviously going to cost a lot of money, effort, all these different licenses, so there's
a lot of things as well, like Clydebank, they're just rushing just now to try and get things ready, because they've just been rushing along the leagues. Obviously it's a good thing, they've been doing well, but they're sitting top of the Lowland League in their first season, and if they were to win it, they'll go into playoffs and maybe get into the professional leagues, but right now as it stands they wouldn't be allowed because they don't have everything in place, so they're having to move things along. I think you get a bit of leeway if you've got planning permission and all that kind of stuff, started the works, but
I think did I not send you something today as well, which they get planning permission ready to change their stadium for SPFL as well.
Aye, that was you sent me that today. That's what's brought it in my mind. Borough's the same, they could be playing Lowland football next year.
Aye.
And then their stadium was way behind what most of the stadiums are like. Don't get me wrong, the Borough's working really hard to do that. We've had Brian Williamson in, he's been explaining what's going on, and so there is a lot of things. They're looking at floodlights, they're looking at training stadiums, they're looking at putting in a 5G pitch, so they don't have to deal with the bad weather all the time.
And the thing is, you think back, I mean, obviously the Borough and up at the Thorn, they used to have floodlights and they took them all away. Obviously they would be no good now anyway, but when you think how bad the Borough was maybe 6-7 years ago, the place was derelict, it looked terrible, so it's actually night and day. Even though it's not up to standards for going up the leagues, it's still amazing the amount of work that they've put in it already.
Absolutely. Plus, I like these kind of stadiums. I love going along and standing, trying to avoid the rain and all that. So it just adds to it. It's hopefully they don't change too much.
I think that's the thing now, but it's the pressure into it, because if you've got like the aspects of you're wanting to get up the leagues, you've got to change. So you've got to get your licenses, change certain things, get the 5G pitch, you've got to spend the money. So again, it's all becoming money even at this level of football now, where obviously years ago although you had to pay certain things, it was nowhere near the level of money that you're spending now. So the finances are crazy at this level as well now.
Absolutely.
So the
Fixtures
for the Premier League are as follows. Atherley are at home to Drumchapel. Beath Juniors home to Cowan Rangers. Hurlford United home to Troon. Pollock are at home to Shotsbon Accord. Rutherglen Glencairn versus Largs. And St Cadoc's versus Cumnock Juniors. Some tasty ties in there, Ricky.
there certainly is.
Hurlford and Troon are they're second and third now. Two of them are going well. I think that'll be a great game.
Troon and Auchinleck are equal in points, but Troon are 2 games ahead.
Yeah.
So this will be their 3rd game ahead when they play at the weekend, and they really need a win to jump ahead Auchinleck, because they will be 3 games behind them, ahead of them, sorry. So Troon can't afford to drop anything if they want to be serious contenders in the league.
I think Troon and Hurlford have been big surprises for me, how well they've done. I mean, they've got good squads, good clubs, but they're actually excelling this year, aren't they?
Hurlford was basically nowhere. They were basically nowhere last year. They were kind of bottom of the table. Another thing as well, we're talking about earlier on, and there's no relegation this year.
Yeah.
In case our listeners don't know, basically no teams will be relegated from any of the divisions. So St Cadoc's are sitting bottom just now, which is a surprise, but they won't be relegated. They'll remain in the Premier next year. There'll be a lot of teams, a lot of reshuffling from the smaller leagues. Hopefully a few coming up.
It also gives them another season to get ready for the Premier League. The fact that they're not going down, it's like a free hit this year, isn't it?
Is there any other Renfrewshire sides that you know of, Davey, that could come up? Because they'll be looking for new teams to come up into the West of Scotland. Amateur teams, is there any you know of?
I don't know. I know that would come into that level. I don't think. What I was getting told was like
Thorn was the last from Renfrewshire to go into leagues.
Amateur fit was, well, I think it was Mark that was telling us amateur fit was kind of fading away now. There's a lot of teams, I don't know, it's just kind of crumbling, so they were kind of forced to come out of juniors. So I think that's kind of diminished now, the amateur league.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I mean, you might see, was it Broomwood that been doing the tubes this year?
Yeah.
Have they not got an amateur team as well? I mean, they could come up to the bottom league again.
Aye, they could basically resurface again. That's happened quite a few times over the years.
Just depends who's behind them. I think, like East Kilbride now, they've got that financial backing that Broomwood had, and it just shows you if people pull the funding, the club can just dismantle right away. It's once you've got that financial backing, you need to have a backup, I think, in case, I mean, somebody can die, somebody can just leave, and if you've not got it, how are you paying the wages right away? It's a hard one, I think, especially this kind of level, because obviously, you know, you go back to like the Cess era and Big Roger Ramsey and that playing with the Borough. You can't imagine they were getting much money, you know what I mean? They're just playing for the love of playing football, and it's a local team, and obviously that's a level, it's quite a good level to get to, so they're just turning up for work, training and playing the games at the weekend. Now you've got players that have played top level dropping into the juniors, so it's a different kind of game altogether, isn't it? We'll need to get the Borough manager on at some point as well. He's promised to come on. So.
He did promise us when we did interviews with him before the Scottish Junior Cup final this year. It's last season.
We'll try and see a wee kind of gap in the fixtures, maybe when it's the rainy weather kicks in and there's a lot of games getting called off. We'll try and get him in.
Yeah, when his team's not playing in something like the Scottish Cup, you know.
Or every cup. They seem to be a right cup team this year, but don't they?
They do. I've always liked the leagues, and they're not doing so great in the league, and sometimes you feel maybe, I'm not saying it is, but maybe their focus is off the leagues because they're doing so well in the cups, and I don't know. But
then look at last season. Last season they weren't doing that well in the league. They were up and down. I was calling for Murdo Seed. But look where they finished. You know, they could have finished second. A wee couple of bad results at the end, and they end up, it was third, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So that's how we expected them to be right up there at the top this year. But it only takes a run of games to change the full league, to be honest.
Exactly.
If you look how tight it is.
Auchinleck could fall back a wee bit.
I can't see them. I just think they're like the Clyde Bank of last season. They're just so solid.
I don't see it, but you just don't know.
No,
they've got a couple of injuries, a couple of main injuries, and they're knackered. They've got cups left, right and centre as well.
Remember, there's no transfer window as well, so they could lose a few players to bigger teams. You know, lowland teams could come in and steal a few of their big players. that's the one thing I hate about this league, but because there's no like transfer window, so remember,
Players change all the time. Yep.
I remember when Doran's left last year with the Borough, and it left a big hole in the middle, and there was some people that were kind of moaning about him, saying, oh, he's not good enough. But as soon as he left, they seen what he done for the Borough. They seen that kind of a midfield maestro for them, where he held it together, and then they were all moaning, oh, there's a big hole in the middle now, like what you moaned about when he was here. But that's just football, innit? You never know what you've got till it's gone. So moving on to the First Division. There was no results for the First Division.
That's right, yep.
So the fixtures for this week is Cumbernauld United versus Petershill, Darvel versus Witless Victoria, Gartcairn versus Vale of Clyde, Kilburnie Ladeside versus Muirkirk Juniors, Kirkintilloch Rob Roy versus Irvine Meadow 11, Neilson versus Ardrossan Winton Rovers, and Thornleywood United versus St Rochs. St Rochs, that was your team, wasn't it? They're still going well.
Aye.
Neilson are a bit up and down this year as well. They've become a bit of a cup team, haven't they?
They have either done. They've been doing quite well. Who we at? Gartcairn at the top. Gartcairn 23 points, 9 games. They've kind of churned ahead with all the games. They're one of the kind of teams with a maximum.
Well, Irvine Meadow have got a game in the hand and they're 2 points behind. St Rochs have got 2 games in hand and they're 5 points behind. So all to play for up there. But I'm kind of shocked at Neilson. I thought they'd have pushed on for the last season. They were brilliant last season. And when you think how big a scalp that was, putting Linlithgow Rose out, especially when Linlithgow Rose put Clyde Bank out, you're thinking, how are they pulling off these results, but in their own league they're struggling?
maybe the last game they played, they've still got a hangover.
I do watch their updates. I used to play with one of the boys at Pool. He kind of helps run them, so I look for his updates. He gives like an insight to every game, and the games have been beat. It's always been like they didn't deserve it and they weren't at the races, and then they go and beat Linlithgow and you're thinking, what the heck is happening up there? They're either right up there or right down there. It doesn't seem to be any middle ground with them. But they'll need to kind of try and start pulling some results together, because they're drifting down the table now. They're sitting 6th and they're only on 12 points just now, so they're 11 points behind the leaders already. So moving on to the second division, there was 3 results for the second division. Caledonian Locomotive 2, Threave Rovers 6, Kilsyth Rangers 1, Larkhall Thistle 1, Mayball Juniors 2, the Thorn Athletic 0. Bad loss for the Thorn there.
Yep. There was a couple of posts on social media and they were quite the word I'm looking for is not negative, but they were they feel they didn't do as good as they could have. They felt they let themselves down. So knowing the form, hopefully they'll bounce back in the next game, and they have a massive game coming up soon as well.
Listen again, remember just a few years ago they were amateurs.
Aye.
They've shot up these leagues. I mean, they're winning the leagues, they've shot up them. So you've got to kind of level out at one point and then start to build from there again. So they're still doing well. I mean, they're sitting, what's that, 6th place in this league. They are a good 12 points behind the leaders, but again, like you said earlier, you never know. A wee run of games and they can climb that table again, but to me they're still doing great.
Oh, they're doing amazing. They certainly are. I'll just tell you exactly in context. I'll tell you exactly what it was. It says I did a report during the week there. So it was League Business of Thorn Athletic. They suffered a tough afternoon with a 2-0 defeat away to Mayburn Juniors. Liam Miller and Conan Meakin scored the goals for the hosts, and Thorn admitted afterwards it was as a disappointing performance. Despite missing players through injury and suspension, and they have a few that's injured and suspended, the club said they didn't deserve anything from the game, but they're going to regroup over their 2-week break, facing Mayball again in the Cup on November the 1st.
I thought you were telling me you were in Mayball with suspenders on there, Ricky.
I'm not doing that again.
Do you know, we should actually get that up. See on their socials, day after interviews, we should download them and play them.
The Thorn?
The Borough, the Thorn, any ones that do it. The Thorn and the Borough are really good at the after interviews, to be
Aye,
honest,
they are,
after
yep.
game. But yeah, we'll try and get Ricky reading out some more stuff before we finish.
I'll pull your microphone cord out.
So the fixtures for this week are Bellshill Athletic versus Kilsyth Athletic, Caledonian Locomotives versus Maybell Juniors, Forth Wanderers versus Ashfield, Greenock Juniors v Lesmahago Juniors, Kilsyth Rangers versus Blantyre Victoria, Larkhall Thistle versus Bonnyton Thistle, and Maryhill versus Three Rovers. There we go. So straight on to the third division. Kind of running out of time here. Results for Saturday: Ardere Thistle 4, St Anthony's 2, Girvan 4, Easterhouse 1, Glasgow Perthshire 1, Craigmark Burntonians 5, Lugar Bothwell Thistle 1, Dalry Thistle 2, and the fixtures are Dalry Thistle versus Glasgow Perthshire, Easterhouse versus Lugar Bothwell Thistle, Glenvale versus Glasgow United, Kellow Rovers versus Glasgow University, Port Glasgow Juniors versus Ardere Thistle, St Anthony's versus Girvan, and Craigmark Burntonians up top, joint with Dalry. Dalry have been rotten for years. I'm absolutely shocked they're up the top of this table. I don't know what's happened in the summer there, but they were always sitting down like 12th to 14th, borderline like going down a division. So joint top, what a season they're having. And Port Juniors are there just a point behind. So that again, that's another close league for this year.
Yep, Glenvale's not doing so good. They're sitting 11th with 10 points. 3 wins, 1 draw and 5 losses. They were starting to kind of do well at the end of the last season there, so I was hoping they would kind of come a bit better this season, but it doesn't look like anything's going to happen.
Well, look at St Anthony's, they're sitting second bottom with 2 points.
They were a great team last year. They were just, I think they just pipped for promotion.
Yeah, that's right. But again, it's a free hit. They don't get any, there's no relegation, so it's a bit weird, isn't it? Because you're thinking you're fighting against relegation, but there's no fight. So maybe that plays in the player heads as well, just like, who cares? It's a free season, we're not going to do it anyway.
Up, so we'll just take it easy.
We're not going to win it, we're not going up, so it doesn't really matter now. So into the fourth division: Campbelltown Pupils 1, St Peters 3, East Kilbride Thistle 1, Irvine Victoria 3, Vale 11 2, Newmenge United 0, Wishaw 2, West Park United 2, Carluke are 21 points, Irvine Victoria 20, Vale 11 19, East Kilbride Thistle 19, and West Park United on 16 points. Another close league there. The fixtures are Carluke Rovers versus East Kilbride Thistle, Eglinton versus Campbelltown Pupils, Giffnock versus Rossvale, Irvine Victoria versus Saltcoats Victoria, Newmenge United versus East Kilbride YM, Royal Albert versus BSC,
Yay.
St Peters versus Wishaw, and West Park United versus Vale of Leaving. We really need to get to go and see a BSC
for anyone
game.
listening, BSC Glasgow, what was their statistics last year? They
1-1 game the full season. They had about
season.
120 goals against them. They were rotten.
So there's nowhere for them to go. They're bottom of the league. You can't get relegated from the last division.
Aye.
They're just sitting there. They had 1 win. It's like, we're going to support them this year, and I think because we're supporting them, they're doing better. They've had 3 wins and 3 draws.
3 wins, 3 draws, 3 losses, 12
and
points.
they're still in one of the
sitting
cups
10th,
as well.
mate. Aye, they're doing well. It's because of us, mate. We just we need to go there, get our whistles ready.
That's what it is. And one other thing, I know we need to move on, but East Kilbride YM, do we actually know what YM stands for?
Nope.
Youth something probably.
No idea, but we can find out.
I'm finding out right now.
But that's great because there's, for the first time ever, there's 3 East Kilbride teams. There used to be none, and now there's 3 involved in like the junior section of the game. So Ricky's away looking into this because he loves stats, don't he? He's a statistic man. He's messaged me for like the pool. See the predictions we do. In fact, we need to do that, Ricky. We do the predictions, and he's messaged me for the file. I'm like, file? I do it by hand. I just type it out and then delete it once I send it. So he's raging. He can't get through all the statistics for it. So going into the pool league, it was the big cup at the weekend. It was the George Smith Cup, and the results were as follows: Pockets C7, Houstons A4, Pockets E7, Hashbar B4, Hashbar A4, JB7, Burnshouse 2, Pockets D7, Horseshoe A7, Clippings Inn 1, Houstons B 7, Killock Bar 6. That went to a black ball shootout. Houstons C 0, the Hazel 7. I don't think Houstons C turned up this week. And our own game, the Red Fox 6, Killock Bar 7. It was we played rotten, to be fair, but we were 6-4 down, managed to get it back for the black ball shootout, and then we get beat 3-2 in the shootout. So it was a sore one, but it was a great game, and we play them this week in the league for a bit of revenge, hopefully. So we'll see how it goes. But the quarter-final fixtures for that is Pocket C versus Pockets E, JB's versus Pockets D, Horseshoe A versus Houstons B, Killock Bar B versus the Hazel, and good luck to them all. This week, is it? Tomorrow, where are we? Yeah, tomorrow the championship fixtures are as follows. The Keystone is at home to the Burnshouse, Lorimer's home to the Rest, Houston C home to Hash Bar B, Old House Inn home to Patter Bar B, Patter Bar A home to Clippings Inn B, Blackland Mill home to Horseshoe B, Pockets E home to Houstons D, and the Red Fox Inn are home to the Killock Bar B for the return game. Hopefully,
The revenge.
Aye.
See, when they read all these teams out, like Houstons A and Houstons B and Houstons C, it sounds like you're doing one of those old kind of codes that they used to do in the wireless years ago. And you'd have some Russian spy sitting writing down all the code, and then there's probably a Russian just now writing it all down with his pencil, licking the end of his pencil and writing down a bit of paper.
They need to change it, mate. They need to see, like the darts, like the Tartan Thunder and all that. They need to get these kind of names in. I think it's going to. There's more and more because it's like pool clubs joining. So if you've got 5 teams, A, B, C, D, E, it's not very inventive, is it? So the Premier fixtures are Clippings A home to St Peter's Club, Killock Bar A home to Pockets D, Houstons A home to the Heritage, Horseshoe A home to Pockets C, Pockets A home to JB's, Hash Bar A home to River Inn, Pockets B home to Houstons B, and the Hazel home to Lockies. So good luck everybody tomorrow.
Good luck.
You get the darts results here at all?
Yeah, I do. So this is the Paisleyton District Darts League. So on Monday there, it was in the first division. It was Hag A 9, the Clacton Harrows 0, hashtag Bar 3, Pockets A 6, Pockets B 4, the Flying Horse 5, the Clippings 4, Hag C 5, and the Midton 7, Tartan Thunder 2. And I love that name. And in the second division, you had Bishopton Social Club. Oh my goodness! See the official website. It's like full of adverts. So they must be trying to make some extra money for the league. And I just accidentally clicked on something, and this lady popped up. Bishop,
You having fun over there, Ricky?
Bishopton Social Club 9, Hazelnuts 0. Oh,
That's a great name.
That was a bit of Harmon, wasn't it? And the Hazel not a good
I
team.
think you had Hazelnuts there for a second. I think the Hazel is a good team.
Or is that a different? Is it if they get one? If they get 2 teams?
They get 2 teams, yeah.
All right, so that's quite a Harmon, isn't it? 9-0.
That's all euphemisms, mate.
Is it Watershed been yet?
It has, thankfully.
Callum's 2, St Peter's 7, Hazel Arrows 0, Hazel Arrows 0, Midton Bowling Club 9, Rumours 3, Clippings Inn 6, Tartan Rose 7, Habbies 2. So if I have a quick look at the league, sitting top of the league is Haggy and the Flying Horse, both on 6 points. It's followed by hashtag Bar, Pockets A, Hag C, and the Clacton Arrows on 4. Then you've got the Midton on 2, and with 0 points is Pocket B, the Clippings, and Tartan Thunder. All of them played 3 games and not won any. So
Hard season ahead.
What's that?
A hard season ahead then.
So most clubs have got a wee break this weekend. It's Monday they Pleasanton. They got a wee break on Monday. So there's only 8 teams playing, and it's the League Cup quarter final. So you've got Habbies versus the Clacton Arrows, Pockets B versus Pockets A. Oh, a wee local derby. Pockets rivals get on there. St Peter's versus Hags A, and the Midton versus hashtag Bar. So that is just four matches been played, and it's a League Cup quarter final. So back over to you, Davey, and I think we should probably get the pundit predictions done.
It's getting into the last 10 minutes, so we'll get through the predictions. But just before we do, we've actually got some studio mugs ordered for the end of November. So what we're going to do is get listeners to phone in with the predictions, and we'll all give our predictions with the listener. And if the listener beats us on points that week, we will send out a Johnstone Sound mug to any of the winners. So we'll keep you up to date with that and get some people phoning in.
I feel whenever we mention that mug, we should have a fanfare.
You can do it every time I mention it. The Johnstone Sound mug. There he is. Right, so let's get on with predictions. It's
by the way, East Kilbride YM stands for Young Men. So there you go, learn something new every day. No wonder they abbreviate it. It sounds a bit dodgy.
Gary Glitter up there watching.
I would just keep that abbreviated.
Well, we're better known that way. Right, so Dundee United versus St Mirren. I'm going for a 2-1 win to St Mirren.
I will go for 1-0 to St Mirren.
And Callum has went 2-1 to St Mirren.
2-1?
Yeah. Falkirk versus Dundee. I'm going to go for a 2-each draw.
I'll go for 2-1 Dundee.
And Callum has 3-1 Dundee. Livingston versus Motherwell. I think that's a hard one. I'm going to go 3-2 Motherwell.
Both sitting bottom just between Aberdeen.
Yeah.
I'll go for Motherwell as well. I'll go for 2-0 Motherwell.
And the bold Callum has went 1-0 Motherwell. I've not wrote yours down, Callum, so that we were doing it as a surprise because I've not really read them, so I'm just going back to what you sent me. Hearts versus Celtic. I'm going for a 3-0 Hearts.
3-0 Hearts, you should be ashamed of yourself.
I can't believe I'm saying it, but I do believe it.
You should just support Celtic anyway.
I will, mate, I will, but that's my prediction.
No, you shouldn't be saying it live on air. You should be saying
you've been against Rangers a full season.
Aye, but that's me, it's not you. So anyway, I'll go for 2-1 Hearts.
2-1 Hearts. And Callum has went for 3-2 Hearts. Yeah, I just can't see Hearts losing it, mate. That's the problem. I'd love it if we beat them, but I just can't see how we do it. Aberdeen versus Hibs, I think is going to be a cracker, but I think Aberdeen are going to beat them 2-1.
So do I, even though the opposite ends of the league. Yeah, I think that as well. I'll go for 1-0 Aberdeen. There won't be much in it in goals, I don't think.
1-0 Aberdeen. The bold Callum has went... he's went 2-0 Hibs. So Rangers versus Kilmarnock. I think this is a turn. I think 4-1 Rangers.
I was thinking 3-0 to Rangers.
You sure now?
Yeah, I just thought a bit. I said I think 3-0. I'm leaving it open.
Callum has went a 1-each draw.
1-each draw.
Airdrie versus Arbroath. I back Arbroath every week. And I just think, I always look for the results now, and they're either hammering teams or getting beat. It's a weird one, but Airdrie, I'm sure, are bottom of the table with 3 points or something.
Yeah, 4 points bottom of the table.
I think they're going to be 4-0 Arbroath.
I'll go for 2-0 Arbroath.
And Callum has went for 1-0 Arbroath. Morton versus St Johnstone. I think the St Johnstone revival will be on. I think it'll be 3-0 to St Johnstone.
Yeah, I don't see much coming from Great Morton. I'll go for 2-0 St Johnstone though. Not as many as you.
Just finding Callum's. Callum has went 3-1 St Johnstone. Queen's Park versus Ayr. I think 2 each. This will be
2 each. I'll go for 1-0 to Ayr United.
Controversial. And Callum has went for 2 each as well. Wraith versus Partick. Partick are flying. I can't see any way Wraith beat them, but you never know. I'll go 3-1 Partick.
4-0 Partick.
Ricky loves the Partick. Is that your big team now? So Callum has 3-2 Partick. You really went with the goals this week, aren't you? Ross County versus Dundee. I think Dundee will win 2-0 comfortably.
I'll go for 2-0 Ross County.
Really?
Yeah.
And Callum has Ross County 0, Dundee 2 as well. Well, we're thinking along the same lines this week, Callum. Dundee, yeah. So there you go. That's the predictions for this week.
I think Dunfermline.
If I miss one again.
No, Ross County versus Dunfermline. Dundee's not in the same league.
Oh, what am I saying?
I was looking at the
Falkirk
wrong.
are playing Dundee.
Am I looking at the wrong bit? You've missed one. There's actually a game on Friday. We should throw that in as no, there's not. Oh, sorry, my mistake. Do you want to throw in the Johnstone Borough game? Since it's a big one.
Camelot versus the Borough. Yes.
Right, we'll need to get that from Callum later, but I'll go for 2-0. Obviously, I don't know what will happen in penalties, but I think it's going to be a draw and it's going to go to penalties. There's extra time in those games as well because Scottish Cup.
Who are you having winning the penalties in?
Outright, I'll say Borough. Borough's good on penalties.
I've got 3-1 Borough win.
3-1.
Callum, if you want to text it in quickly, if you're still listening.
If you're listening, yeah, let us
know. If
know.
no, just text me later. But yeah, that's the predictions done for this week. And again, we'll get that out there in the socials. We'll need to start up more game in the socials. Actually, I started kind of dating like the Borough Thorn stuff last year. Like after interviews, I started posting on our socials and stuff like that, and things were upcoming. But you get a bit lazy, don't you, when you're busy?
It's just we've all got so much on, haven't we?
Aye, we'll get it out there, and we'll get this phone in started when we're doing the predictions. We'll do it a bit earlier, maybe like just after halfway or something. Get predictions, get somebody to phone in after the adverts and that. Get it ready. Just say we'll get that Johnstone sound mug. There he is again.
I'll probably blow up the switchboard when people phoning in trying to get one of these mugs.
The switchboards. That's you on WhatsApp.
Just it sounds professional.
Sounds great, aye. The switchboard.
Well, it's a switchboard lighting up.
There's a guy champing the door to do predictions.
Phone in, Davey.
Also, I can't wait to this new doors on, Ricky. Do you see it sitting out there?
I seen it, yeah.
Can't wait. See that lock, man. One of the times I was coming in to do the JSX and could not get in for the life of me, sitting doing the wiggle and all that, and then watching all the other presenters talking about it. Like, can I get the key? Can I get the key? Everybody hitting panic mode. That's what I like about this show, because Callie's already in by the time we get here.
We don't need to worry about it.
oh, I'm not even saying it. He's just texted in there. Have you seen it?
No.
1-0 Camelot, he said. You dirty rat. Boo. Just because you're out the cup. Remember that last week we talked about the cup? We don't bother with the kind of cups. Actually,
you get put out.
That was funny. So 1-0 for Camelot for Callum's guess. And that's the predictions done for this week. And 2 minutes to go, Richard. Any other highlights?
No, don't think so. There is actually, we actually forgot to mention, there's actually the Communities Cup round 3, some games that weren't played last week because the other teams were playing other things.
Actually,
yeah.
Oof.
Cambuslang Rangers versus West Calder United and Finnart versus Armadale Thistle. So 4 teams there hoping to get into round 4.
Finnart, that's doing it Helensburgh, isn't it?
Aye.
Aye, been down there to play a few games. That was fun. We always went for a chippy after a good chippy down there. But I'm looking forward to this game. I think this Hearts and Celtic game is going to define the season for me. If we can find any way of getting a point, I think it throws it up in the air. If Hearts win, they're definitely favourites, aren't they?
Definitely.
Can't believe it's happening this year, but even with Rangers, even if they start to come back, it's still a mountain to climb for them.
Yeah, it's going to be quite an exciting season. I think all the teams are going to find their form, like obviously the Rangers, Celtic, etc.
Well, listen, we've been spoiled for years. Everybody always says they want it to be more competitive, and now that it's more competitive, they want the managers gone, they want everybody sacked. It's not good enough. I suppose that's just the joy of it, but anything can happen eventually. But if Camelot beat the Borough and Callum wins this prediction thing at the end of the season, I'm not getting him a ball.
Absolutely not.
You can shove it, Callum. But aye, good luck to all the teams this week in the Cup. It's a really big one for us, especially Clydebank as well. They've got a very winnable game, so it'll be good to see the draw if we all get through, and I really hope we do it. So I've enjoyed this, folks. Thanks for listening. It's a goodbye from me.
And a goodbye from me.
We'll see you next week. Thanks.
Alpha Taxis Johnstone are a local family-run taxi company. All our staff and drivers are friendly, professional, and most importantly, we care about how you travel. We provide a safe, reliable, and friendly service to Johnstone and the surrounding areas. Alpha Taxis Johnstone have been serving the area for over 50 years. Travel with Alpha Taxis Johnstone, Johnstone's #1 taxi company. Call 01505 331 444 or visit alphataxisjohnston.com to download our app or to book online. Alpha Taxis Johnstone. We care. Call 01505 331 444 today.
Reach Pharmacy offer all the medicines and healthcare essentials you'd expect, including allergy and weight loss advice and assistance, ear health and travel and COVID testing. Reach Pharmacy also have your toiletries, travel and sun care, first aid, supplements, plus baby and pet care too, and with branches in Howwood, Elderslie, Speightstown and Johnstone Castle, as well as Glasgow and Gartcosh. Award-winning Reach Pharmacy is your local pharmacy for great